اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio. Salam Radio. 106.2 FM.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Delighted to have your company. My name is Ansar Ali. I'm your host here on Salam Radio until 8 o'clock. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got another very busy program this evening as well, with lots of guests already in the studio. So it's going to be all go, and stay with us. We're going to get lots of interesting information and some updates on some of the issues that are very close to our heart, brothers and sisters. And if you want to give us a ring, you can call us. Our lines are open. 01733 602 133 is our landline number, and Faisal is there, busy with a lot of things, but he'll be happy to take your calls with any dedications, and if you want to send your greetings, or if you're going to go live on air. And our text telephone number is as well. You can text us on a WhatsApp message, 07411 191062. So you are listening to In Conversation with Ansar Ali, and my first guest for this evening is a brother who is very well known in the community. A lot of our guests are hard workers, volunteers in the community, and who's no stranger to the community. He's from our local Bangladeshi community. He is Brother Muhammad Hakim. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Delighted to have you here, but we were all saddened and devastated to learn of these floods in Bangladesh. Much of the country was affected, particularly the area where many of the people who have settled in the UK originate from. They've got families there. I understand 70% of Sylhet, from what I understand, was under flood water as well. And we are saddened, and our thoughts and prayers are with our brothers and sisters in Bangladesh who are affected. Brother Hakim, what do you know is happening at the moment?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much to Salam Radio, and especially to you, Brother Ansar Ali, for giving me the honor to speak to the Salam Radio. And salam to all the brothers and sisters who are listening the program at the moment. The Bangladesh flood situation is very, very devastated. There is no word to describe about the situation. Allah. The dead bodies of the children, men, women are floating on the water. There is no place to even bury the dead body. There's all the Bangladesh, all over the Bangladesh, Sylhet is always the safe city. But this devastated flood has affected Sylhet very badly, very, very badly. People got no shelter at all, and no roof, no food, no nothing. And when you see the dead bodies floating to the water, floating on the water, going through the river, that's heartbroken.
We are certainly, our hearts are broken as well. Wherever these tragedies strike, we here at Salam Radio are saddened by those, and always our thoughts and prayers are with those affected. In terms of the current situation, is help being provided? Are international agencies doing anything to support Bangladesh?
Yes, at the moment, lot of charities on the ground, lot of international charities on the ground, they're providing support. Like we got like Sky Channel, many Bangladeshi channel in the UK, which is Sky Channel 777. Right. Sky 778.
So there are a lot of Bangladeshi Sky channels that do fundraising?
They always, every night, if you open the channel, 779, 778, 777, all the four channels, they are continue fundraising. People are donating generously.
Okay. And you're getting a good response?
Good response, good response. Government doing their best they can as well. And every day is army force on the ground. They are supporting the people, rescuing the people. They're doing it their best, but still not enough.
I know those people who've been directly affected, made homeless, or lost their loved ones as well.
Yes.
Whether we know them or totally unknown to us, our thoughts and prayers are with them. But in terms of you yourself and the members of the Bangladeshi community in Peterborough, have they had any close relatives been directly affected?
Yes, affected. Many families affected. All in a simple word, like everyone is almost affected. The one who who go like be of solvency, like wealthy people, they are surviving at the moment.
Well, the poor people in rural areas, I understand, they're the worst because their
Yes.
houses
Yes.
were actually level with the ground. The people who have had the money and have been able to build the houses, they've actually built them quite higher as well,
Yes.
or second, third story as well. So they've been they're quite strongly
they're
built.
Quite strongly built, and they're okay. But rest of the people in the somebody like middle standard people and low earning people, they are hardly even having a roti or food. There's so much struggle.
In terms of our listeners here listening to you this evening, I know they are all saddened, inshallah, from all our communities here in Peterborough and beyond. Any particular message from you, Brother
Yes.
Muhammad Hakim?
Yes, I like to give the message to all the brothers and sisters who are listening the radio at the moment. Please watch the Sky channel number 777, 778, 779, 780. They are all Bengali channel. Every night they collecting money. There is a lot of charity work doing there. So if you kind enough to support this donation, support this project to as much as you can, and donate as much as you can to support.
Okay. In terms of your own organization, the Bangladeshi Community Association here in Peterborough, you are their president. Are you doing anything in
Yes,
particular
we
yourself?
did about a couple of weeks ago. Before you get that was we had a fundraising event on the Sky Channel 777 as well, and we achieved quite a lot of money, and that have been sent it to the Bangladesh as well, to the government.
Okay, so
source.
please, brothers and sisters, listening to Islam Radio in conversation with Ansar Ali, please support as much as you can and make your du'as, keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts as well. Brother Hakim, thank you very much. I know you're a busy man as well. You made the time to talk to us.
I'm really grateful to you for giving me the honor and chance to speak to you and send my message to all the brothers and sisters. Please, brothers and sisters, please do as much as you can and donate whoever you're in your capacity to the Sky Channel 777, 778. All the channels are available for
Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you very much.
And that's Brother
Thank you.
Muhammad Hakim talking to us about the Bangladesh floods and how devastating they have been. Please support as much you can and keep listening to Islam Radio. We've got plenty more to come.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum to you. If you just joined us, a very good evening. Delighted to have your company. My name is Ansar Ali. I'm your host until 8 o'clock with In Conversation with Ansar Ali every Friday from 7 till 8. And we've got a few more people in our studio here joining me live to have a conversation with me. David Jost, a very well-known member of our community in the Gladstone area in Peterborough. David, good evening and welcome.
I'm very pleased to be here, Ansar. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. And assalamu alaikum and good evening to Mr. and Mrs. Bashir.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
कैसे हैं बहन?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्र अल्लाह का, बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक.
वेरी गुड. बहुत अच्छा हुआ कि आप आ सके यहाँ प्रोग्राम पर.
आपने बुलाया और हम ना आए तो
Exactly. आपका
कैसे
बहुत
हो
बहुत शुक्रिया. David, if I can start with you first. Last week we had a couple of people from Gladka, Yasmin Elai and Muhammad Ayub Chowdhury, talking about the celebrations that they've been holding in Peterborough. Two very successful events, very well attended, celebrating 50 years of Gladka. You were one of the founder members. And I saw you there as well. In terms of 50 years ago, when you set this organization up with a few like-minded people trying to serve the community, first of all, what were your aspirations?
Our aspirations was to make our area better. I was made very welcome when I came to Peterborough and took up residence in Cromwell Road well over 50 years ago. I had a job here in Peterborough. But we very soon learnt there was a lot of hardship in the area, a lot of hardship. Next door to me was a family, a widow, and she had 6 children. Yeah. And she found things very difficult, but she made us very, very welcome. And we wanted to repay that welcome and trying to do something. And the thing that we thought really needed to be done then was to set up something to help young mothers and children. So we, in fact, established the very first playgroup. They're now called preschools, the very first playgroup in Peterborough, and it was under something called the Cromwell Road and District Community Association, and a lovely man called the Reverend Richard Payton.
Yeah, we knew him well. Yes.
He lived in the area. He was a Church of England vicar, priest.
But he served all the communities. Yeah?
Absolutely. He was very much, and so he and a lady from Perkins Engines, Elizabeth Perkins, very high up, and between us and some social workers from Peterborough, we got together and we managed to get the lease of 30 Cromwell Road, which is now known as Neighbourhood House. Yeah. And our playgroup is running there even to this day. Yeah, it's been, different people have run it, but it's run continuously, and that's the thing I'm most proud of.
What changes have you seen in the area over the past 50 years?
I'm sorry to say not an awful lot of changes. There have been a lot of promises to improve our area. There have been studies, there have been books written, literature, there's been meetings held, there's been money allocated and then withdrawn. And my real concern has been that the urban renewal, in other words, improving the housing and improving the conditions for those of us who live here, have been promises and they've never come to fruition yet. And that's the thing that concerns me a great deal.
There are a lot of people who are quite disappointed with the authorities that they haven't addressed some of the issues that have been there and have been growing for a number of years now.
That's right. I mean, the statistics show that we have the fairly low level of education facilities. Doesn't mean to say there's lots of us around here, we've got ourselves degrees and what have you, but overall the education levels are low. The health is a poor level of health. Yeah. All of these things are measured. They're known by the authorities, but actually very little has happened. There was some improvements in I remember them well, in the 1970s, but we still are suffering with urban blight. Yeah. There have been promises, but they haven't I can talk about Millfield, I can talk about North Westgate, but these are concerns.
Yeah. We will come to that on another occasion as well, David. Okay. We're certainly going to invite you again because of your knowledge of living in the area. In terms of the changes and Gladka over the past 50 years, did you think that the organization will be still serving the community 50 years later?
It is astonishing, Ansar, isn't it? I don't suppose we thought about it. I was in my 20s, I suppose, late 20s. I'm now in my 80s. I didn't think about what would happen when I was 80. In fact, I wasn't even sure I'd be here in my 80s. So we didn't really think ahead. What we thought about was what we need to do now and what we need to do for next year. And so in addition to the playgroup, we also ran campaigns on housing, and then what we realised was that people were short of information about benefits that were available, and so we set up an advice shop, and we got the lease of 318 Gladstone Street, which became known as the Gladker Advice Shop. Initially, it is now, of course, the headquarters of Gladker as it now is.
Okay, and we're going to move on. You mentioned the play group. Assalamu alaikum बहन.
वालेकुम
फिर
अस्सलाम.
दोबारा और आप बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप यहाँ पर आए हैं अपने खामद के साथ जो हम अच्छे तरीके से जानते हैं 50 साल से और ज़्यादा से. बशीर भाई
भी बहुत कम्युनिटी कवर किया.
ये भी माशाल्लाह बहुत करते रहे हैं. लेकिन आप सबसे पहले खातून और पहली स्टाफ मेंबर थी.
बिल्कुल.
हमें बताइए कि जब आपने पहले ये काम शुरू किया उस वक्त आपका क्या रोल था, क्या काम था?
मेरा काम था, नर्सरी स्कूल था ब्राइट स्ट्रीट और क्रॉमर रोड के कॉर्नर पे. तो वहाँ पे जब हमारी फैमिली पाकिस्तान आज़ाद कश्मीर से आई ना, जाहिर है कि बच्चों को तो फिर नर्सरी स्कूल छोड़ना ही था. तो जब बच्चों को छोड़ने आती, लेने आती, तो उनको ज़रा ज़ुबान की प्रॉब्लम होती थी. वो नहीं, वहाँ की हेड टीचर होती थी मिसेस पूल. हाँ, मिसेस पूल के लिए बड़ी मुश्किल था कि वो क्या माएँ क्या कह रही हैं और मिसेस पूल उनको क्या कह रही कि तुम्हारे बच्चों ने सारा दिन क्या किया, कैसे रहे. तो फिर उनको ना किसी हेल्पर की ज़रूरत थी जो ज़ुबान का मसला हल हो सके. उन दिनों मैं फारगी थी और रहती भी क्रॉमर रोड पे ही थी. तो फिर ना जाने किस तरह वो हुआ कि
उनको पता चला कि आप यहाँ पर
हैं. बिल्कुल. तो फिर उन्होंने ना मुझसे मदद मांगी कि इफ़ आई गॉट ए स्पेयर टाइम टू हेल्प दम. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, मैं फारिग हूँ तो मैं आ जाया करूँगी. तब से फिर मैंने वहाँ जाना शुरू किया. और जब आज़ाद कश्मीर की औरतें और भी दूसरे शहरों के जेलों की औरतें बच्चों को छोड़ने आती थी तो फिर वो मुझे बताती थी मसले उनके कि हमारे बच्चों को ये मसला. उनसे पूछ के समझ के तो फिर मिसिस पूल को मैं बताती थी इंग्लिश में.
तो क्यों उस वक्त जब कई माएँ शायद उनको ज़रा खौफ
भी था. बिल्कुल
नया मुल्क था,
सही.
वो वहाँ पर अंग्रेज़ी भी नहीं अच्छी जानती थी,
नहीं जानती थी.
वो उनके जो अम का खौफ भी आप दूर करते थे.
और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी मिसिस पूल की जो थी ना प्रॉब्लम, नो मिसिस पूल प्रॉब्लम, वो कहती थी कि सारा दिन बच्चे हमारे नर्सरी स्कूल में आते हैं और हम इतना उनको इंग्लिश सिखाते हैं, इतना टफ हमारा टाइम होता है उनको इंग्लिश सिखाने का, हार्ड जॉब. तो जब वो घर जाते हैं तो माएँ फिर उनके साथ अपनी ज़ुबान बोलती हैं. तो फिर वो जब नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग बच्चे आते हैं फिर वही अपनी ज़ुबान बोलते हैं. तो फिर हमें फिर मुश्किल पेश आती है. फिर उनको हम इंग्लिश सिखाते हैं. तो प्लीज़ इनसे कहो कि जब घर जाए तो इनसे ना कोशिश करें इंग्लिश में ही बात करने की.
फिर ये मेरा जो ये सवाल है ना, आपने माओं की भी मदद करनी शुरू कर दी कि वो भी अंग्रेजी सीखें.
बिल्कुल. यही मैंने फिर उनसे ये कहा, मैंने कहा देखो जब बच्चे घर जाते हैं ना, ऑब्वियसली कि वो यहाँ से सारा दिन रह के नर्सरी स्कूल से इंग्लिश ज़ुबान सीख के घर जाते हैं तो वो इंग्लिश ही बोलते होंगे. तो प्लीज़ आप उनसे अपनी ज़ुबान में बात करने के बजाय उनसे इंग्लिश सीखें, उनको समझें कि वो बच्चे आपको क्या कह रहे हैं. तो इसमें आपकी बड़ी हेल्प होगी. तो फिर माशाल्लाह से कई औरतों ने इंग्लिश सीख भी ली. तो आज देखो वो हमसे ज़्यादा इंग्लिश बोलती.
बिल्कुल अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. तो ये जो तब्दीली आई है, 50 साल आपने देखी है, तो आपको कैसे लग रही है ये तब्दीली?
बहुत ज़्यादा तब्दीली आई. आप
बेहतरी के लिए
माशाल्लाह अब तो वो औरतें ड्राइवर बन गई हैं, गाड़ियां ड्राइव करती हैं. मैं तो हैरान हूँ. हाँ, कि जहाँ इनको इंग्लिश नहीं थी बोलनी आती, अपनी ज़ुबान में बातें करती थी, ज़रा उनके लिए मुश्किल होता था. मिसेस पूल के लिए भी मुश्किल था कि ये क्या कह रही है, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही, उनको समझ नहीं आ रही मिसेस पूल क्या कह रही है. तो जब मैंने उनको ये बताया कि प्लीज़ घर जाके ना बच्चों से इंग्लिश में ही बात करें, इंग्लिश अगर नहीं भी आती उनको समझने की कोशिश करें.
अच्छा, वक्त की कमी है, लेकिन आजकल तो ऐसा हालात हो गए हैं कि अपनी ज़बान थोड़ी बोलते हैं, अंग्रेजी ज़्यादा है जो आजकल जनरेशन।
एग्जैक्टली, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, क्योंकि अब उनको इंग्लिश इजी लगती है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, उनकी पहली ज़बान होगी अंग्रेजी।
बिल्कुल,
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
50 साल पहले की बात है, 50 साल हो गए इस बात को, तो अब तो
थर्ड फोर्थ जनरेशन हो गई है ना। बिल्कुल,
फोर्थ जनरेशन, वो तो इतनी अच्छी इंग्लिश बोलती, मैंने कहा ना कि कहाँ तो इंग्लिश बोलना देखता रहो, ड्राइविंग करती हैं वो।
David, in terms of, there has been a lot of changes. Mrs. Bashir was telling me that originally mothers couldn't speak English, so there was a lot of work to making the mothers adjust to life in the UK, in Peterborough. But now we've got the third, fourth generation of Pakistani Kashmiri community, where those children, their first language is English for many of them, basically.
That's right.
And there are those sort of changes. But, we've brought in new communities in the area as well, which you've seen come in, arrive over recent years. Lots of languages being spoken as well. And in terms of the changes and adapting to the changing needs as well, that's been very important for Gladka as well.
It has. I have to say that in recent years, I've not personally been involved with Gladka, but I've admired their work, particularly their work on immigration issues, and the tremendous work they're doing with the languages. In the old days, we did have some. We would be helping people with speaking Punjabi, Mirpuri, to learn some English. And now it's much more sophisticated because they're dealing with people from Eastern Europe, from Romania, from Czech Republic, and also people from Afghanistan and from Iran. And it is. But the important thing about my neighbourhood is all these people seem to be so friendly. Sometimes people say, we used to say to my wife, she was going home from work, and they said, it's dark. Are you walking down Cromwell Road in the dark? Yeah. And she said, it is the safest street in Peterborough. It is a friendly street. The houses, the doors open onto the street, and the people are friendly.
Absolutely.
There are other places in Peterborough, she said, I would not like to walk at night. But Cromwell Road, Gladstone District, is not a problem.
No, absolutely. And the perceptions are sometimes quite different to what the reality is. Unfortunately, people have perception of what they've heard about things, but they've never been in the area, basically. So I think it's quite a welcoming area. People should try to know other people from other neighbourhoods as well, and make sure that we all start to respect each other, basically.
Absolutely, and come to our area and come to the shops. I mean, because that's one of the things that people come to our area is we have a wide variety of shops selling a wide variety of foodstuffs which are very popular, and sometimes you can't get anywhere else. People come from miles away to shop in some of our corner shops, which are excellent.
Absolutely. Well, I've run out of time. Mr. Bashir, thank you very much as well. You've been here as well. Thank you very much for all that you've done over the years as well. Mrs. Bashir, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आपने वक्त निकाला हमारे लिए, और दुआ में याद रखें अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। और यकीनन के जो वो पहली माएँ थी उस दौर की, वो आपको याद रखती होंगी अच्छे तरीके से. And David, you are a pillar of our community. Thank you very much for all the work that you have done, that you continue to do as well. And thank you very much for your time this evening that you spent here on Salam Radio. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you very much indeed. It's enjoyed being here.
We're going to take a short break. Inshallah, I'll be back with you right after this break. Stay right where you are in conversation with Ansar Ali. We'll be back with you in a couple of moments' time. We got a lot more guests, a lot of interesting conversations, inshallah. Stay right where you are.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
हाँ बिलाल, मैं हमारी ग्रोसरी और हलाल मीट के लिए मुख्तलिफ स्टोर्स पर जाते जाते थक चुकी हूँ। पार्किंग हमेशा से एक मसला रहा है और मुझे आखिरी बार एक पार्किंग टिकट भी मिला है।
कितनी दफा बता चुका हूँ, 232 लिंकन रोड पीटरबरो पर पार्क फूड्स को ट्राई करो। ये कैम्ब्रिजशायर की सबसे बड़ी एथनिक सुपरमार्केट है और उनके पास 1 घंटे के लिए फ्री कस्टमर कार पार्क है।
वाओ, रियली? लेकिन क्या मैं वहाँ से सब कुछ खरीद सकती हूँ?
यस, fresh quality fruit, vegetables, dairy product, halal meat and poultry delivered every day. It really is a one-stop shop. Plus, Park Foods carry a huge range of brands from around the world and thousands of products in their daily use household range.
मैं अभी जाना चाहती हूँ। वो कब तक खुलते हैं?
Monday to Saturday, 8:30 to 8 p.m. and 11 to 5 p.m. on Sunday. और ये बहुत ही साफ और महफूज है और कोविड गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो किया जाता है. तो फिर चलें शाजिया.
Park Foods. Come and see the difference.
Peterborough. Who said good quality fried and grilled chicken has to be expensive? At Sam's, we take pride in every piece of chicken that leaves our kitchen. Just one bite of our chicken or burgers is all it takes to realise we are the best. Visit us at our brand new place at 333 Lincoln Road, PE1 2PF. Or order a delivery through Just Eat, Uber or Deliveroo. Sam's, the home of great tasting chicken for over 30 years.
It's estimated that 5,760 children become orphaned every day, and the numbers are rising. UKIM ensures that the orphans we sponsor receive healthcare, food, education and shelter to show them that there are people who care. This Ramadan, from just £30 per month, you can make a real change in an orphan's life. Your sponsorship will provide them with much needed essentials to ease their situation. For orphan sponsorship, call now or visit ukim.org.
Mar food store Lincoln Road Triangle te inna rush o balle hoye tusani amba ne pure mulk vich rolle
Pakistani sogatan ji amb le lo jamnu le lo Pakistani taze mithe amb te jamnu aa gaye ji
ਯਕੀਨ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਨਾ ਮਾਰ ਫੂਡ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਬ੍ਰਾਂਡ ਦਾ ਅੰਬ ਮੰਗਵਾ ਕੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਯੂਕੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਸ਼ਲ ਲਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਜਾਮਣੂ ਵੀ ਭਾਈ ਉਹ ਜਨੇ ਨੇ ਆ ਪੁੱਤਰ
Amar Food Stores, Al Mashu, fresh halal meat and groceries. Address 613B Lincoln Road, Triangle, Peterborough. Telephone 01733 687374. Amar Food Stores, Meyar ka naam, munasib daam.
महानूर मजीद हूँ और कोर्ट मेरा एक खूबसूरत आशियाना है जहाँ मेरे जैसे हज़ारों यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों की कफालत बेहतरीन अंदाज में की जा रही है. आएँ हमारे सरों पर दस्ते शफकत रखें और इस माह रमज़ान अपने सदक़ात, खैरात और एहतियात से हमारी कफालत में अपना हिस्सा डालें. अल्लाह पाक आपका दिया हुआ माल अपनी बारगाह में कबूल फरमाए. आमीन.
कोर्ट UK ऑफिस 0300 123 774 court.org.uk.
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the second half of the program with me, Ansar Ali. Delighted to have your company. We've got more interesting people to talk to us here live in the studio. Patrick Brooks and Colin Watson, two long-standing friends of mine. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And we also got Naomi on the phone as well. Hi, Naomi.
Hello, pleasure to be with you.
Good. Lovely to have you as well, Naomi. Thank you very much indeed. And we're delighted to have you guys here on Salam Radio. We're going to talk about this event, understanding the Israel-Palestine conflict next week. Part 1 is Life Under Occupation, Friday, 1st of July, 6 till 9 p.m. at the Millennium Centre in Peterborough. Colin, if I may ask you, how important do you think this event is for the communities of Peterborough?
Well, the reason we're doing it is because, you get the big events make the news that happen in the West Bank. But daily life for the Palestinians is difficult every day. And it's shining a light on that has driven us to put on this event, because the first event in particular is just looking at what life is like for Palestinians living under occupation.
And Patrick, you are from the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign here in Peterborough. You've been spearheading the organisation of this event?
I wouldn't. No, it's collective.
Collective, yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of how important do you think that the issue of this particular conflict is raised wherever possible?
Well, I've been a supporter of Palestine since the 70s, and there have been loads of people who've been kept on what was going on in Palestine, because you've had world leaders who said that unless you get the Palestinians find a home and a settlement, there'd be no peace in the Middle East. And you've seen it throughout decades where you've had all these flare-ups. The Israelis have been bombing Gaza, taking over land, and some of the world leaders just turned their back. They don't want to see.
So what you're trying to do is to bring attention to the issues, because we here at Islam Radio are always advocating love, peace and harmony, because that's what our beautiful religion teaches us, basically, encouraging people to respect each other, live in harmony with each other as well, respect the differences. And Naomi, you're on the phone joining us, and you're going to be at this event yourself. Naomi, you are of Jewish faith yourself as well. In terms for you, the particular issues that are taking place in Palestine and Israel, what do you think is the best outcome to actually so that we can actually save lives and we could see people living in harmony with each other?
What a fantastic question there. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to be coming on the train, hopefully, next week to join everybody in Peterborough. I think it's really important. And for lots of Jewish people like myself, who've grown up being taught the sort of values you just mentioned there, peace and harmony, we think that the only sensible outcome will be when internationally Palestinian human rights are recognized and respected, and the Israeli state begins to acknowledge and act upon international law, which at the moment is being breached. So, I'm one of many, many Jewish people who look with horror at the behaviour of the Israeli state, particularly because they claim to do it on behalf of all Jewish people, and we know that they are not serving our interests by treating the Palestinians in an appallingly racist and discriminatory and oppressive fashion.
When we talk about Palestinian people, we're not just talking about Muslim people, are we?
No, exactly, and that's very often not recognised. But obviously, Palestine is very important to people of the Muslim faith because of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and because of the large population of Palestinian Arabs who are of Muslim faith, but there are, of course, Christians there, and as in any community, there are people who are secular and just get on with their lives without having particular regard to religion. But many of those people also value human rights and justice, as we do here. So, I think that's such a good point that you're making, that really sometimes the Israeli state likes to portray what's going on as if it were a battle between Islam and Judaism. But of course, that's absolutely not the case. It's simply a question of a settler colonialist regime which oppresses one set of people for racist motivation, and ordinary people, Palestinians, who just want to get on with their lives. So I'm looking forward to the meeting, because I think what Patrick and Colin have described, giving a showcase to what life is like for ordinary Palestinians on the ground, that's going to be really useful and interesting, and will help to draw attention to the injustices which we should all human beings should care about.
No, thank you, Naomi. It's so important for us to understand that it is not just between Jewish people and people of Muslim faith, basically. It is the issues are much deeper than that. So I'm so glad that you've actually shed some light on that as a Jewish person. We're always encouraging people here on Islam Radio to express their views and respect their views as well. But we're always always advocating peace, love and justice, people abiding by international law as well, and human rights, basically. So, Naomi, thank you very much for that. And Colin, in terms of next week, Naomi, I'm going to come back to you. Don't go away yet, please. I'm going to come back to you. We've got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to make the most of the time that we have with you. Colin, in terms of people listening to Islam Radio here who might not be too familiar and might not have attended any events in the past as well, what would you say to them?
Well, it's very important that you come along. It's actually going to be a very enjoyable event. We have these important issues to talk about, but we're going to do it, I hope, in an entertaining way. We've got a lovely little film, a Palestinian-made film to show. We found some Palestinians in the Peterborough community who are going to provide us with food, traditional Palestinian food. And it will be an opportunity to meet and talk with people who have an understanding of what is happening.
So informative evening, a social evening as well.
And a social evening as well, networking as well, yes.
And Patrick, in terms of your role as well, for people to get involved, the Palestine Solidarity Campaign as well?
Yes, we want to get more and more members, more and more supporters. We want to drive into the communities to tell them of what's happening to Palestinians every day and how they can help to change the attitude of national governments, the EU, and we notice that there's a big drive in the United States where people are supporting the Palestinians against the Democrats and against the Republicans.
So the awareness is getting there, basically, all these awareness events. Okay, thank you. We are short of time. Naomi, final word from you in terms of what can people expect to hear from you as a member of Jewish faith attending this event next Friday in Peterborough?
I want to explain and talk about why solidarity is essential as human beings, regardless of our faith and race. And I'll give a little bit about my own experience of how I came to this view. So I hope people will come along and engage and have a good discussion. And as Patrick and Colin have said, have an enjoyable and fascinating evening.
Right. Naomi, thank you very much for joining us this evening here on Islam Radio. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Thank you. And just a reminder again, the Peterborough Palestine Solidarity Campaign have got this evening, Understanding the Israel-Palestine Conflict, Life Under Occupation, the first of two events taking place in Peterborough, Friday, July the 1st, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Millennium Centre on Dickens Street. It's a free event. Please come along and understand what really is happening in Palestine. And you'll find the evening is going to be interesting, informative, and you can socialize with other like-minded people as well and learn a lot more about what's happening there. Patrick, Colin, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay right where you are. You are listening to Ansar Ali here on Islam Radio, back with you with a few more guests as well before we end the program. So stay with where you are. And if you've got any comments to make, any suggestions, you can always give us a call on 01733 602 133. And you can also text us with our text telephone number 07411 191062.
प्यारे नबी है मर्तबा बाला तेरा मेरे नबी प्यारे नबी मेरे नबी प्यारे नबी है मर्तबा बाला तेरा जिस जा कोई पहुंचा नहीं देखा वहाँ जलवा तेरा जिस जा कोई पहुंचा नहीं देखा वहाँ जलवा तेरा तेरा सरापा या नबी तफसीर है कुरान की तेरा सरापा या नबी तफसीर है कुरान की वल्लैल मुताहा जबी वशम्स है चेहरा तेरा वल्लैल मुताहा जबी वशम्स है चेहरा तेरा वल्लैल मुताहा जबी वशम्स है चेहरा तेरा खैरात देता है खुदा हर वक्त तेरे नाम की खैरात देता है खुदा खैरात देता है खुदा हर वक्त तेरे नाम की जिसको मिला जो कुछ मिला जितना मिला.
We are going to shorten that, I'm afraid, because so much to do with so little time. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to you from me, Ansar Ali. My next guest is Karen Ego. Karen, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you here in the Islam Radio studios.
Lovely to be back.
Thank you very much indeed. We got a different studio since the last time you were with us.
Yeah, it's very plush.
A good few years ago. Good, okay. And we're going to come to the point. Islam teaches us not to waste water as well. And you're working on this fantastic project, telling people to conserve water, to save water, not to waste water. Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so one of the really great ways that we can save water is by having a meter installed. And do you know, in Peterborough, the percentage of people that have got meters is over 90%. So most people in Peterborough are very sensible, got their water meters, and they're saving money. The thing that makes me so passionate about this is we need to save water. Did you know, Ansar, that in this region where we live, we get less water than they get in Jerusalem? Oh, God. We have less rain than they have in Beirut.
So people think there's plenty of water, but that isn't the case.
No, we're not Manchester, are we? Yeah. we're quite short of water here. Yeah. And we need to try and do our bit to conserve it. But also, you know, we're all...
You know, we were given this message 1,500 years ago.
Yeah.
As Muslims, even when we have to prepare for our prayers, basically, we have to wash ourselves properly. And even during that process, we have to make sure that we don't waste any water because it's a scarce resource.
It is a scarce resource.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so important for people to be very, very careful, whether they're washing at home, having a shower, having a bath, to save water.
Yes.
And where can they get more information from in terms of not wasting water, make sure that they don't have a leaky tap and what have you?
Yeah, so they can go along to the Anglian Water website. So all the water in Peterborough is provided by Anglian Water. And they can also get help there if they need help with their bills, if their bills are a little high, or if you're a more vulnerable person and you need to go on the priority service register, you can sign up for that there as well.
So lots of opportunities to get reductions in your bills.
Yes, of course.
So please go to the Anglian Water website. If you've got little children, if you've got someone vulnerable with disabilities, aged, etc., you might get discounts, you might be able to qualify. Unless you have a look and apply, you will never know.
Yeah. And we're so convinced that you'll save money that if you don't, you've got 2 years to switch back.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Karen.
You're
Sorry
welcome.
I'm a bit short of time.
Oh, yeah. We'll come back another time and
Absolutely,
have another chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay, you take care. Okay. We're going to bring Nisha in as well. She's been waiting for a long time. Nisha is another volunteer in the local community. And just a reminder before she settles into the chair and talk to me, a reminder that Islam Radio is your community radio station. We cover lots of topics and lots of events as well. We are not afraid of tackling tackling controversial issues either, but we do want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to have their say. You might have a view that may be different to the people that we invite here. You can always drop us a line. We're always happy to talk to you as long as our guests don't get personal. That's the criteria that we have. Otherwise, you can share your views in a polite manner, because expressing our views, it's very, very important. So don't shy away. If there's anything we've said here on Salam Radio and you want to have your own view on those issues, those aspects, then please do so. Drop us a line, info@islamradio.co.uk. Send us a message, a WhatsApp message on 07 411 191062, or you can call us on 01 733 602 133. And Nisha is here with me. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Uncle.
First, my apologies. You were the first one to arrive, and you're one of the last ones to talk to me. Really wanted to talk to you. You volunteer in the community?
Yes, I do volunteer in the
community. You have a full-time job as well, looking after the family.
Yes, I do.
God. Well, fantastic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for all your efforts.
Thank you.
Dear niece, Nisha. Good on you. And when you call me uncle, it makes me feel so good as well, actually. So thank you for that term of endearment that I love the most, basically. Okay. These activities for young people at Gladstone Park Community Centre that you're very much involved in delivering, in organising. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so this is a project that myself and brother Mohammed Saeed, who is the chairperson of Community
We couldn't get him here, he's busy this evening.
He's a busy guy, but he did want to be here.
Good. So, I'm going to get him here one of these days.
I'm sure, I'll leave that with you.
Thank you, yes.
So I volunteer for Community Affairs Peterborough, and we've been thinking about this project for a long time. Our lovely Helen has done a similar project with younger children, which went on for about two years. So I volunteered with her. And the whole idea of this is that it's reaching out to 13 to 19-year-olds, which is, we feel, the kind of core group that has a lot of issues, a lot of struggles. Obviously, because of COVID, it's exacerbated all those struggles and issues and have come to surface.
What of issues do you come across with these young people?
So it's a lot of things. Like mental health, lack of confidence because of the lockdown, the disruption of schooling. We've got a lot of children in TDA that have been kicked out of TDA last minute sort of thing during their exams. So they're struggling. And when they struggle, there's no one to pick up that sort of that comfort zone, that I wouldn't say baggage, but that element of need. There's nothing there at the moment. Youth services have been cut throughout the whole city. We know that. The council haven't.
Are you trying to do something about it?
Yes, we are trying to do it.
And in terms of when and where is it?
So it's every Tuesday, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. We are always going to be there. It's upstairs at Gladstone Community Centre. So there's a confidential service as well, where there's a little room where anyone wants to do one-to-one, they can come and speak to myself. And I will go through any sort of any needs that children need or young people need, whether it's advice for university, whether it's they want to do volunteering. I've helped a couple of young people with their CVs try and get a summer job. We've got a pool table there. We have foosball. So it's also like a place just to unwind, because sometimes when they come to us, they don't actually know what they want. So it's just providing that forum for boys and girls, and we will be there, so it'll be fully supervised, fully confidential.
Sometimes parents are a bit reluctant because, especially Muslim families sending their girls there as well. They want to make sure that the people who are going to be providing advice, supporting those children, they understand their religion, their culture, etc. What sort of confidence can you give them?
So with those sort of issues, we thought about that. I personally never went to a youth club because it was mixed. So I am aware of those issues. So the whole idea is that if we have a full room of boys and girls, we try to keep it separate.
Right.
And we have those provisions as well to do that. Also, we get the families involved. So the couple of children young people that I've helped, I have involved the conversations with the parents. So I ideally have the parents there for the first meeting.
Right.
And we keep that conversation with the parents. We're not doing it so that the children can come to us and not have the parents involved.
Okay, so the parents are very much involved as well in what you're trying to do, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And remind us once again, times, venue,
Okay.
And the days, please.
So 5:30 to 7:30 every evening on Tuesday nights, Gladstone Community Centre upstairs. You might find a problem getting into the centre, but just knock on the doors. We try to have the doors open downstairs, but you've got a number as well, so call us and we'll come down and let you in.
Nisha, thank you very much indeed. All the very best to you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have got Abdul Razak Khan on the line with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, young brother?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Delighted to have you here. You are prepared to go for Hajj tomorrow with your mum and dad, with your sister, with a couple of one or two other members of the family as well.
Ji, inshallah.
Hajj Mubarak to you and all your family first and foremost. Okay, and we wanted to talk to you, Abdul Razak Khan, because not many weeks ago, people were, soon after Ramadan, people start thinking about preparing to go for Hajj. They were used to one method of going through the agents and applying. Then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks beforehand, the Saudi authorities introduced a new system of applications, and a lot of people didn't know what to do, etc. And Abdul Razak Khan, you are one of the lucky families. In fact, the only lucky family that I know who are actually been successful in booking their Hajj through this portal as well. How easy was that?
So I wouldn't say it was very easy, if I'm honest with you. And I think, firstly, I think we were quite lucky because we're quite tech savvy, because we also had our original booking with an agent, and the agent kept telling us we will find out soon about the packages. We're just waiting for the Saudi ministry to give us details about Mina prices and so on. So. And then just by chance, one day on Twitter, there was an announcement from the Saudi ministry that there's no more agents and it's going to be done online.
Yep.
So alhamdulillah, we got it. But it was just by chance that we were on Twitter and we saw that.
Okay, yes.
The process itself, do you want me to explain how?
Yeah, please do, because I think a lot of our listeners would be interested. What process did you go? So you learned that they've changed the system of applying for going on Hajj, basically. You had to use this portal, everything online. So tell me.
So what we had to do firstly was there was a link on there to register just your interest. So what we did was we registered our interest, and originally it said we will let you know within 48 hours whether you are successful or not.
Right.
And then that deadline got dragged. And then finally they came up with the deadline of June 18th. Right. And then on the day, we received just an email to say that you are successful in your interest or registration.
Right.
What we're going to do now is we're going to put your name into a draw. And in the next 48 hours, there's going to be a draw done. And if your name comes up, we will automatically call you. And it will be a automated message to say you are successful.
Right.
You need to log into your application and proceed.
Right. And you.
So.
And it all went like that, basically. Yes, straightforward. It sounds.
That's right. It was straightforward at that time, but that original procedure was then delayed by another 2 days. So rather than the 18th, we found out on the 20th that we were successful.
Right.
And then they advised us on that email that we had to do everything ourselves. So on the actual link, the website is called Motawif.
Right.
We had to go on there, choose your package. So, for example, how many days you want to travel.
Right.
Whether you want to go Makkah and Medina.
Yeah.
And also which hotel you want to stay at.
Yeah.
So it was a package that you can make yourself. It wasn't.
All right. So you have choices, basically. You tick boxes, yeah?
Gee, that's correct.
Right.
So what we did was we went for 21. We chose 21 days to spend 10 nights.
Wonderful, great. So alhamdulillah, I'm sorry, I'm running out of time as well. And who are members of your family who are going with you, Abdul Razak Khan?
So it's myself, my older sister, my mum, dad, and my cousin sister.
Okay, now wonderful. We will make du'as for you. Hajj Mubarak to all of you. And remember us in your du'as. And thank you very much for taking time to talk to us. I know you're traveling tomorrow. It's been very busy for you.
Gigi, definitely has been, yes.
And that's why you couldn't come to the studio.
Gigi.
And can I please request now that inshallah may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring you safely back to Peterborough. We want you to be live in the studio when you come back, inshallah.
Definitely, inshallah.
We look forward to that. Have a safe journey. Keep us in your du'as. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz.
Okay, brothers and sisters, that's just about it from me, Ansar Ali. It really has been a pleasure. I want to thank all my guests because I haven't got the time to name them all. We've got numerous people. We had numerous people here. Thank you very much. Keep me in your duas. Allah Hafiz.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.